everyone, my name is Jolie Long and I'm a core team member of Catholic Culture. Today I will be continuing the Fruits of the Spirit series. I think fruits of the Spirit are very important and an interesting topic for us as Christians and Catholics. One of my favorite explanations of the fruits of the Spirit is from my favorite podcast called Abiding Together. Sister Miriam explains that fruits are manifestations of the life of living in the Holy Spirit. She also says that fruits are a great way to know if you're living a life with the Holy Spirit because they're everyday signs that help us understand which fruits are growing on our own tree. The two fruits of the Spirit that I will be discussing today are chastity and modesty. Like many other fruits, these two things can be very difficult to live by because they can be challenged in our everyday life. The first fruit of the Spirit that I want to discuss today is modesty. Modesty is considered the base of humility because they both include acknowledging that your achievements, successes, or merits are gifts from God. Modesty can refrain outside actions and not only includes inappropriate behaviors but words as well. Modesty is a balance between needing more and also needing too little. Second, I'd like to discuss chastity. This groups very well with modesty because it's important to have humility, humbleness, and obedience when observing if your actions are helping you to live through chastity. The simplest way to explain the fruit of the Spirit called chastity is that it helps guard our thoughts and senses so that they will not cause us to sin. Chastity also helps us regard our bodies, as well as others' bodies, as the temple of the Holy Spirit. This includes refraining from sexual pleasures with our bodies and others. In 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verses 18 through 20, it says, "Flee immorality. Every other sin that a man commits is outside the body, but the immoral man sins against his own body. Or do you not know that your body is a temple of the Holy Spirit who is in you, whom you have from God, and that you are not your own? For you have been bought with a price. Therefore, glorify God in your body." This Bible verse not only pertains to chastity, but modesty as well. It is important to note that the Holy Spirit is always present in your body and is gifted to you through God. The Holy Spirit is present with us always in order to help guide us from falling into sin. Personally, I think a very helpful way to live in modesty and chastity is to know and acknowledge that your body was created by God and for God. Throughout these next few weeks or even months, I challenge you all and myself to keep in mind 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verses 18 through 20. And to try and pray about these two fruits that were gifted from the Holy Spirit, and to live through modesty and chastity with the guidance of the Holy Spirit. Now I'll give y'all a couple of questions to get the conversation started. Do you think modesty is an important fruit to bear in everyday life? Do you think chastity is an important fruit to bear in everyday life? What are some challenges you face when living in modesty and chastity? What are some ways to guide you to live in modesty through the Holy Spirit? What are some ways to guide you to live in chastity through the Holy Spirit? What stuck out to you from 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verses 18 through 20? I hope you all have a great weekend and we'll see you next week. Bye!